Hi, welcome to our daily encounter. Every once in a while, we got to step back and kind of recognize who is it that's really in charge on this earth. Who's the one that really is running things? Because a lot of times we might think it's the rulers, the authorities, the governments, the nations that are kind of in control. And as we look at other nations, we might become fearful of what they might do to us. We might begin to take too much stock in our leaders in our own government and act as though they're ultimately in charge of how things turn out. But for us, in Joshua chapter 12, we get a glimpse of who it is that's really in charge on this world, in this world. Because you have a listing of all the kings that Joshua was able to conquer. And at the end of the chapter, it tells us 31 kings. So in approximately 5 years, the Israelites were able to conquer 31 kings. And these were not just, your run-of-the-mill, small kings. These were kings that were mighty. A lot of them were very mighty and very powerful, and were kings of fortified cities. And yet through God's power, through God's strength, Israel was able to overcome all of them. And it was nothing to God to give that land over to them. This is exactly what is spoken about in Isaiah chapter 40. In Isaiah chapter 40, here Isaiah, this is way in the future of Israel's history from where we're reading, where Israel needs to be comforted. They've been in captivity. They begin to question things about God, and Isaiah is comforting the people. Matter of fact, the chapter starts out, "Comfort, O comfort my people, says your God." And this is how Isaiah was able to comfort them, or God was able to comfort them through Isaiah, by reminding them about who was really in charge. It says in verse 21, "Do you not know? Have you not heard? Has it not been declared to you from the beginning? Have you not understood from the foundations of the earth? It is he who sits above the circle of the earth, and its inhabitants are like grasshoppers, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain, and who spreads them out like a tent to dwell in. It is he who reduces rulers to nothing." That's what we see God doing through Joshua. "Who makes the judges of the earth meaningless. Scarcely they have been planted, scarcely they have been sown, scarcely has their stock taken root in the earth. But he merely blows on them, and they wither. And the storm carries them away like stubble. To whom then will you liken me, that I would be his equal, says the Holy One." And truly we have a God that is far above any ruler of this earth. He is the one that created all things. He is high above everything. He transcends everything on this earth. All rules, all authority, all governments. God is high and above all of that. And he's the one who is ultimately in charge. And that should bring us comfort as his people. Because we're not just left to the whims and the decisions of and the influences of governments around us. We have a God that's above all that we pray to, that we serve, that we love, that we adore, and who in turn loves us and adores us and cares for us. And so even though things might get rough, things might get tough, maybe sometimes it does seem like the governments have the upper hand in cases where Christians are being persecuted, we know that in the end, when it's all said and done, God's going to have the final say. And we can take confidence in knowing that. And this should also give us comfort in just our day-to-day activities. When we walk out the door in the morning, we go out knowing that we have a God who's in control of every situation. He's in control of everything that we encounter during the day. And he's above all of it, and he transcends all of it, but at the same time, he's down here with us to help us through it. And so even though he's high above every rule, every authority, every government, he's not so above us that he can't walk beside us. And when he walks beside us, he has just as much power as he does when we think of him as above all these things. So keep in mind, you have a God walking beside you who's very, very powerful, very, very mighty. And we need to increase our faith in that God, increase our trust in him, and allow him to take control of our lives, take control of our situations, and hand them over to him. As it says in the New Testament, it's cast all of our burdens upon him, for he cares for us. So that's our comfort. That's our message for today. I hope you guys are encouraged by it. I do thank you for watching the video. I love you guys. See you here tomorrow. God bless.